Welcome back to Street Smart Investing, and this is the third episode for the sector of aerospace and defense. So we're getting close to the part 4. So we're gonna do 31 stocks. So the next episode will feature 11 left, and I will be done with this sector. It's been quite an adventure here, and it's been fun. So this is only one sector, so I got plenty more to go. So let's begin. Raytheon. So positives about it. 700 million cash flow. They're always beating earnings, and this says good return on equity. That number actually says 28.2%, so that's a really good number. Next up, it has potential for a core portfolio. The negatives needs work on its debt, which is 64.5%. And it's been watch listed. I have it here watch listed. So at the bottom, it says Raytheon and then Raytheon Technologies. So basically, Raytheon is having a merge. They're having a merge with United Technologies. United Technologies is the majority shareholder, and Raytheon is the minor stakeholder. So what's happening is these guys are merging together. They're putting all their stocks and shares, everything together. Everything's getting merged, so pretty much everything's doubling. I don't know what the cash options are. I only read basic information. I haven't really gotten into detail with it. If I find more information, or if anybody wants to know information, then I could speak more about it and do another video and go into detail with these instead of evaluating these basically. I can go into a deeper analysis and evaluations for these companies, but I just choose not to. I just want to keep it basic and simple, since it just offers more variety and more education and something to give back when I mention more sectors and companies. It's just a better outcome of things instead of just one company out of the one sector. So basically, they're merging, and I'll talk a little bit about this here and mention it here. And it seems like a good deal. They are not adding debt to UTX. They're pretty much gonna. It's like saying I think Raytheon is covering the debt part of it since they have the cash flow, and basically whatever debt is gonna get left over is just adding on. So it's not like they're adding on the worst onto the new company. It's like before they merge, they're gonna get rid of the debt, and they're trying to manage their money well before they make the merge. And the other thing too is that UTX, they're selling off two businesses, or the core businesses, and they're going to be separate entities. So what I'm saying is these two companies are correlating with each other, meaning they're very similar in products and services or whatever they do. And so they want to combine their strategies and their company, so it looks pretty good. It's weird because I didn't add UTX to the watch list, and I should have added them to the watch list. So it stands for now that Raytheon is separate from United Technologies, but once they become a company, they're going to be known as Raytheon Technology. I don't know when the due date is going to be when they actually merge, but basically Raytheon number 22 is going to be added to the portfolio, and UTX again, it won't be UTX. It'll be Raytheon Technologies. So they might have a new ticker symbol. So the merge is gonna be added to the portfolio. If the merge does not happen, again, it'll be like this: UTX separate and RTN is there, watch listed. So, anyways, next up, AVAV Core. I have no complaints over it. It's great as a growth portfolio in your position. I like this company a lot. It's really good for growth. It doesn't pay a dividend. They have really low debt. I think it had like 6.2% debt, something like that, something crazy like that. And yeah, it just seems like a solid company. And this will build up a cash flow in a few months or a few years, and then it'll be good to sell, and then just cash out. And who knows, the company might even grow. And for now, it's a small cap. A lot of the growth portfolios, well, a lot of growth companies that I see, and when I think about adding to the core, it's because I'm going to use that as a cash option. It's not that I want to stick with it long term. I mean, I'll stick with it for a few years and then probably cash out. But again, I'm not going to dismiss it entirely. So once I decide to sell it, I'm still going to keep an eye on it and watch list it, because you just never know if it's a good company, is still going to be good in the future years. Then might as well not ruin a good thing and just keep it around and keep watching it. You never know if it might get even bigger and better and more efficient. So next up, ATRO. I wrote, it needs a lot of work. Cash flow is weak because they have 50% debt. And two negatives on this part. The second one is earnings are inconsistent. So I did not like this company. And that's pretty much the bottom line. I didn't say anything positive about it. So, I see more negatives than positives. So that's it. Next up, CUB. I wrote the negative is it needs work. Company would be better off with no dividend, and it could save cash. And they have a debt load of 49.2% debt. So yeah, everything what I said, it just speaks for itself. They're offering a dividend. I didn't write the yield. I could be wrong. It's if I'm not mistaken, it's like a 1.3%, something like that. Unless I'm thinking another company. But yeah, it doesn't work out. They'll be better off with no dividend. I'd rather see them grow as a company instead of giving the dividend. Some companies, they just don't think about that. If they're doing bad and they have high debt and they're giving a dividend, I'd rather just, I want to see a company do good. It's really hard to find really good companies, solid companies with solid management that are, having working capital, or, they're just managing the money really good, or strong balance sheet, and, just to keep the earnings going. It's hard finding a good company that manages really well the financials. So next up, HEI. Again, HEI-A. Negative, I wrote, needs some work on the cash flow, but it has potential to be on the watch list. So yeah, I wasn't feeling the cash flow. Needs a little bit of work. I wrote some work. So it's not too bad. And it does have potential. So, I mean, I didn't watch list it. So I passed on it. Next up, United Technologies, as I said earlier. So needs to work on the debt because it's 68.2. They're on the same. So basically, it's going to be in the mid 60s, the debt, when the merged company begins. And the positive that I wrote, when merged with Raytheon, it's going to add to the dividend growth. But they also sold off two businesses. So when you sell it off like that, I think they sold it for cash, if I'm not mistaken, because now they're gonna be separate companies. And they sold their AC company and their elevator company. Their AC company is gonna be Otis Elevators, No, Otis, and then for the elevators, it's going to be cars. So the upcoming ticker symbols that might come about might be OTIS and CARR. These might be upcoming IPOs, or if not, they might be just on hold. So next up, ERJ, not profitable. Hexcel, great growth company, especially to cash out. This is a company I put on the watch list, and it needs some work on the debt. It's at 54%. I like how they're not paying a dividend, so basically then they're pretty much concentrating on growth. They had good numbers, and again, this seems like a company like CUB. And I actually added this one to the watch list because they're not paying a dividend, and CUB is. So I think they have better potential to do better without the dividend. So I added them to the watch list. TGI, not profitable. And last but not least, BWXT. Positives, I wrote dividend growth, good company. Negative is high debt with 79%, and it needs work. I watch listed this one because, it has potential. I believe, they could work on the debt and they'll be a better off company. So again, I have RTN on my watch list, HXL, BWXT, AVAV on my portfolio, and